In this tutorial, I'll show you how we can create quick properties for custom template. For example, for this custom template, I have one text box. Let's get started. Camtasia 2020 introduces template. While creating your content, you can use built-in template and you can use quick properties to customize images, text, colors, shapes, everything, and it's very useful and you can reuse this asset very quickly. Unfortunately, it does not provide the option of quick properties for custom template. So that means if you create your own custom template and if you want to expose those properties through quick properties, you will not get any option as of now. So apparently it looks very weird because when we say it's a template, these quick properties are very important so that we can reuse and we can share through libraries. When I search in different online forum, it looks like quick properties are not exposed to the end user yet. In some forum, I saw that probably it will come as a feature sometime in future, but as of now, I have not found any working solution. Recently, I was going through this .tsc project file, and it is in JSON format, so it's very much human readable. So I went through this and I compared between built-in template and the custom template, found the difference. From there, now I'm in a position to create a new template. This video will be a little bit lengthy because I'll share everything in detail and step by step, and I'll also explain when we do something here how it impacts this TSC project. Let's open this TSC project file in any text editor. So in my case, let's open. Yeah, so this is the .tsc project file. So let's open it. It's a JSON file. I'm going to use this JSON viewer so that it will be easier to explain. Please watch this full video. Initial few minutes I'll explain how when we add something in Camtasia, how it gets affected in this project file. Then we can do the reverse engineering. We will add something in project file, then that will be reflected in Camtasia. So I'll explain everything in detail. At the end, I will share the quick steps that you can follow to make this change very quickly without going through all those things. But it is recommended to go through this one so that you understand what kind of change you are doing. So before you start making any changes, keep backup of this file. Now let me explain how to read this JSON file based on our timeline. Here in the current timeline, we have only one track. So if we go to the timeline, in JSON, array index starts with 0. So 0 means track 1, 1 means track 2. Now we are interested on track 1. So let's open this object 0. Now here you can see there is no media or nothing it added here. So let's add one, call out, let's say text, save it, and here it will ask you to reload. So let's reload and refresh here, and we have to go there again. Yeah. Now if you go there, you'll see this call out is added and its ID is 5. This ID is very important because we are going to use this ID from quick properties. So when we basically create template, we basically use multiple media, shapes, callouts, transition, everything. Then we group it as a single object. So let's make a group. For the sake of simplicity, let's create group using only one element. So let's group and name it as my quick prop. Let's type my quick prop. Now save it. It'll ask you to reload it, refresh here, then again go there, scene. So now in track 1 we have one group, and inside group there is one track with one element. So now go here, so here it's a group with ID 5. Now inside group we have only one track. In the track we have one media. Okay. So whenever we will add anything here or we will modify anything, it's basically store all those configuration inside this tsc.project file. So now if you make any change here and reopen that project in Camtasia, you will see that change. If we change anything in Camtasia, that is going to be stored in TSC project. Now if you change anything in the TSC project, it will be reflected in the Camtasia application. So let's try one thing. Let's say we give the name my quick prop. So let's find that prop. So now make it modified. Then we'll save it and we'll reopen this application and we'll check whether it is reflecting or not. So if you see here, said my quick properties minus modified, and it is reflecting here. After comparing with the custom template, inbuilt template, I found that only difference is that this section. There is one JSON attribute called assetProperties, which is there inside these attributes, which basically creates that quick properties panel. So now what we are going to do, we'll add this section in our custom template, and we'll reopen that Camtasia and we'll see quick properties is added there. Don't worry, I'll explain all these things one by one. In our case, we have only one text call out, and this call out has properties like shape and color and font, all those things, right? So so we are going to expose this text field and color properties as quick properties. That is our target. So now I'm going to copy this section and I'll add it here. So, and this section will create that quick properties. Now let me explain the structure. So basically, as inside attributes, there is a property called assetProperties, which create the quick properties, and there, and this assetProperties is like is a JSON array which contains object which has different kind of attribute like type, name, objects, and type basically defines what type of quick property. So let's say if it is 0, that means it is text. If it is 1, so that means it is related to color or something. I'm not 100% sure about all those values, but that I am telling based on what I observed built-in template. And name. So basically here you can give the name which will come in the quick properties panel as a field, and then objects is an JSON array which stores ID of those element for which this property will be created. So just for example, for in our case, so ABC, this is the element, it's a text property, it's a text call out, and we are going to refer this text call out here, so that whatever input we will give here, that will be passed to that text call out. And similarly, we are also going to change that color attributes of this text call out. So we are using another object inside assetProperties, basically another quick property of type 1, which is related to color, and name it as color 1 or anything if you want. So let's say name it as custom text, and name it is custom color. Now next step is we have to find these IDs. So how to find the ID? So here our configuration is track 1. Inside track 1 we have one group, inside group we have one track, and in that track we have this element or text call out. So let's find what is the ID of this ABC text. So it's our timeline. Inside timeline we have scenes, inside scene first scene, and then first track. Inside the track we have group with ID 5. Inside group we have one track, and inside the track we have one media element of type call out and ID 6. So 6 is the ID for which we are going to create quick property. So let's go there, and so ID will be 6, and again we are going to change color properties for this text call out only, so this ID will be also same. If you have multiple element, then these IDs will be different for each element. For multiple elements you want to create one color property, then you can give like this, and 8 whatever is the ID for the corresponding element. But in this particular example we have only one text call out, and we are going to change the text as well as color of the same text call out. So that's why these objects are same. Now let's save this one. And if you see here, right now there is no quick properties panel in the left side. So the moment we will restart this one, let's say reopen this project. Now if you click this one, you'll see there is a quick properties panel just beside this visual properties. And here if you see, let me adjust it. Yeah, so here you will see the two quick properties has been created. One quick property which is of type text, and it takes the custom text, and the field name is custom text here. And again second quick property is color and shape, so which is of type 1, and we named that property as custom color, which is custom color here, and it's associated with 6. So basically it's associated, if we change anything it will be reflected to this text call out. Let's check. So right now if you see it's a ABC. Now if we want to change this thing, so let's type hello, and if you see it's changing. Now we'll try shape, it's working. Now text color, anything here, and for border let's say something Okay, so now we can see we have one custom template with quick properties. Now we can easily make it available through libraries. Let's say we can add it to the library, or we can export the asset as zip file, and we can share with team so that they can use this in their content, just quickly changing properties through quick properties panel. And one thing to note that if we add any element or change anything in the timeline, then IDs may get changed, but don't worry, it will update the asset properties automatically. So once you will change it here for the first time, next time onwards, whenever you will change in the timeline, it will not impact this part. It will automatically update this section. Now let me share the quick steps that you can do to achieve the same thing in few seconds. Let's clear timeline. We don't have anything in the timeline, so we'll start from scratch. So here, to do this, you do not need any special kind of text editor. You can use any text editor with search functionality, and you do not need this JSON viewer also. I use this JSON viewer so that it helps me to explain. Let's say now here we don't have anything, so if we see, just to verify, go there, you'll see there is nothing. So everything is empty this side. So now forget about JSON viewer. Let's assume we only have one text editor. Now we are going to add, let's say the same thing we are going to do, but I'll show you how quickly we can do this. So let's add this text call out here and put it here like my text, and then group it and name it as my group. So if you go there, so basically based on this Camtasia timeline, everything got updated in this TSC project. Now next step is, now we need to add asset properties under attributes fields of my group element. So what we will do, we'll go there. If you see, we name this as my group, so you can give it any name. So we'll use that name to search that section. So we'll go there and search in your text editor my group. So it will take you to this attribute section, and we'll copy this section here. Don't forget to add one comma here, otherwise it will break the JSON format and your project Camtasia will not load that one. Let's indent it a little bit. Now it looks good. So here, what we are going to do is like we want to add two quick property. One property will change the text, and another property will change the shape and color, all those things. So let's say we are going to use the same name. Let's say custom text. We'll update it with custom color. So next step is we have to find the ID and put that ID here. Now question is how we will find the ID. So it's very simple. So go to your element, and if you see here, I put it in my text. So just copy this one, search with my text, and you will go up, scroll up. In the, you will see there is a ID, and this is 7. So then go back. So basically ID is 7, and we are going to change the color and shape for the same text call out. So we are going to add the same ID here. That's it. Before we restart, let's check. Yeah, so there is no quick properties panel here. So once we will reopen this project, we should see that quick properties panel here. So now go here. Yeah. Now let's click my group, and we'll see the custom text and custom color. These two quick properties has been added in this quick properties panel. Now let's check whether it is working or not. So test, so it's changing. Now let's change it to color. See, and I can change, let's say, color. So basically, and also let's try the shape also. So if you see that everything is working as expected. So steps are very simple. First, give meaningful name, groups and text elements, and we'll use those names to search ID in the field. So basically, just for example, just to recap, we'll use the my group name to find this attribute section, and there we'll add this asset properties, and in asset properties we have to define the type of the property. In this case it's a text, so I'm 0. In this case custom color, shape, all those things, so that's why it's a type 1. And in the objects field we need to provide the ID, and these IDs are ID of those elements for which we are going to create this quick property. In this case, so we can give the name, let's say test, so you can use this name test here, and you can scroll up and you will see the ID. So it's very easy. So idea here is that use some unique thing, like let's say for text field it is text you can use to search, and for groups you can use the group, and similarly for other field you can find some unique thing that you can use to search the corresponding ID. In case if you want to explore this tsc.project file in any JSON viewer, then you can try online tool like JSON viewer, and you can open this and you can paste the .tsc project, and then you can go click the viewer, you can see, and you can explore the whole JSON file. I have not covered all types of media and elements, so if you need anything specific you can add from inbuilt custom template, and you can view it here, what is the type and what is the difference. Based on that you can update your custom template. Thanks for watching this lengthy video. If this content really helped you, then please subscribe and like to support this channel. We'll catch up in the next video. Thanks.